LeBron James and his greatness cannot be denied. LeBron James and what he's accomplished cannot be denied. But you want me to tell you what can be denied, Nuno? You want me to tell you what can be denied, JC? Your apparent fixation to not only empower yourself, but others around you in NBA circles. That's what owners and executives are having a problem with. That is what is making LeBron James become that irritant. Because even when it's not him, he's going to get blamed for it. If you've got the shop or you're doing post-game interviews and you're reminding the world about how you're your own man and you can do what you want and you can't be controlled because you've already generated in excess of $1 billion for yourself and you've gone Hollywood and you're executive producing shows and creating content and doing things of that nature and you have an aspiration to do other things in media, guess what, LeBron James? For the most part, he's right. He can do what the hell he wants. But somehow, some way, if you know anything about corporate America, if you know anything about billionaire boys clubs, if you know anything about the power structure that exists in this nation, and how you got cats that made money a different way, who look at you as labor, who look at you as players, and you are out there bloviating about how you can do what you want, when you want, how you want. Any opportunity that they get to humble you, they're going to take advantage of it. You think people ain't smiling at LeBron James on the verge of missing the playoffs for the first time in 14 years? He's been to 13 straight playoff appearances. They're having a ball with it. You think they're not laughing at LeBron James missing the final? Never mind the ratings. Never mind how the ratings are going to suffer. Never mind how the ratings have been suffering since LeBron James took his talents from Lake Erie to Southern California. Because he plays later in the evening and the games come on later. And as a result, you don't get those earlier ratings you were getting from LeBron James as a lead-in to those West Coast games. And it has affected ratings. You think they care about that? No, they don't care about that. They don't care about that because in reality, at the end of the day, although there should be an incredible level of appreciation for the greatness that LeBron James has put on display, it doesn't come without its critics. It doesn't come without its negativity. It doesn't come without people who are determined to take you down. Enter Rich Paul into the equation. Let's call this what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, there are people out there that believe the only reason why Rich Paul even matters is because of LeBron James. They think he would be just some kid selling T-shirts out of his trunk if it wasn't for LeBron James. That's how they feel about him, some of them. I keep this in mind for you. They don't say those kind of things about Maverick Carter. But they do say those things about Rich Paul. The difference between Rich Paul and Maverick Carter is Maverick Carter, management, businessman, et cetera, et cetera. Rich Paul's an agent. Not to say that agents are not those things, but agents have to be bad guys. And agents create more enemies than folks that are sitting in Maverick Carter's position. So as a result, you're going to have people hating on Rich Paul. So they're going to bring up the fact that he tried to force the trade of Anthony Davis to L.A. They're going to bring stuff like that up. They're going to remind them about how you hoodwinked folks and you used your cachet and leverage with LeBron James to get Tristan Thompson and J.R. Smith paid. They're going to say those kind of things about you. They're going to ask folks to look at contracts of players that you signed, wondering and questioning, did you do a good enough job for them? You're going to be under the gun. You're going to be critiqued ad nauseum. That is the life of Chris Paul today as we know it. But let me give y'all a little secret. It also happens to be a reason why you have some of these guys gravitate to him. Because they recognize the level of vitriol aimed in his direction. And they're offended by it. They're offended by it. This young brother grinding, doing his thing, and y'all don't want to recognize his talents. Y'all want to attribute it to his connection to LeBron James and LeBron James only. And y'all don't want to give him credit where credit is due. That's what the Draymond Greens of the world and others, are like John Wall and others, are saying about Chris Paul. Because they respect him. And they like him. Excuse me. And because they feel that way about him, they're taken aback by the criticism that comes his way. And so it's not an accident that you see these stories. And it says stuff like Jeannie Buss apparently fed up with Rich Paul. It didn't say she was fed up with LeBron James. It didn't say that LeBron James is causing her problems. It intimated Rich Paul. Now, I didn't see that. I saw her being very nice to Rich Paul last week at the Staples Center when I was there. I didn't see that. But then again, who's to say it is or is not true? We don't know.